Okay, welcome back. This is part 2 of our ECE 121 week 2 set of videos. So we looked previously at this slide with the early learning foundations, and we read left to right subdomains. How do we support ongoing learning? What you might see, and what you can do to support the child's development. Now we're going to put it together, and you're going to visit the Putting It Together Delph's Google Doc, which we'll visit in a minute. Again, you will need reference to the Early Learning Foundations. They're linked here, and the QR is here. So what we're going to do now is you are going to identify your age group and your domain, which are assigned for you. You're going to create a activity name. Keep it simple. Okay, it doesn't need to be rhyming. It doesn't need to be cutesy. It can simply be young infant language if that's what you want to keep it. Then you're going to look up the Delph and the domain and the code. So we looked at the example previously. Let's go back to that slide. The code LL10 and then the language with it. Show interest in rhymes, books, stories, and songs. Another example of the code and the language could be LL13. Use and experiment with different writing materials. Okay. Then you're going to write a short paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, detailing for us what your activity is about. Remember, you're keeping it specific to your age group and the domain that you choose, or that is assigned, I'm sorry. And then finally, why is this activity effective for the age group? A short paragraph. Okay, so we're going to hit pause and we're going to move over to that Google Doc so that you get a sense of the expectations. Okay, so not a document, but rather Google Slides, okay? So again, we're putting it all together. We're going to use the Delphs here. This is the next step after you completed your Exploring the Early Learning Foundations assignment. And it's the initial steps, the foundational step for writing your lesson plans. So, steps that we're going to take. Again, make sure you have access to the Early Learning Foundations. It's linked here again for you. You're going to brainstorm and plan one activity that you could do with a child in the age group. Each student will have a slide, actually 2, I made it expanded a little bit, and an assigned domain and age group to begin your activity development. You'll include the following information that we reviewed before. Okay, here are the assignments. There are social, emotional, language and lit, discoveries, which is your cognitive, and physical development and health. So find your name, and then you can see if we just click one more, because we're on slide 3, slide 4, Maria has her first. She's going to work on social emotional for older infants, 6 to 12 months. And she's going to put her activity name. She's going to put the Delph domain with the code, details for her activity. And just in case she needs some more space, she can come to slide 2. And slide 2 also ask the question, why is this activity effective for the age group? Okay. You may want to look at the whole of that domain for the age group to give you a little bit more. And again, if you go read that left to right, what you'll see, and then what you can do to support, in this case, social emotional growth. Okay. So everybody has 2 slides, and again, it's listed here for us. Okay. I would suggest, as I have before, that you hit pause on the video, you come to this link, and you get this done. Welcome back. Glad that you hit pause and you are completing the Putting It All Together. Again, the link is here, the Early Learning Foundations link, as well as the QR code. All right, we're going to wrap things up and we're going to look ahead now. So on our schedule, beginning week 3, you will start to see the notation of revised due date. It's really only for week 3, so there's actually been very little revision as far as the closure that we experienced this week. So next week, we're meeting on Friday, January 26th. The preparation for class you're going to read the Module 3 Principles, Practice, and Curriculum learning materials. We're going to be talking about infant toddler education, and you want to take a look ahead at the week 4 assessments, which we will also look at together in class. If you have been approved to go to your placement, you're going to take your ID and your hour logs. Those documents are posted for you, and you will complete engagement activity 1. Everybody received an email with outstanding paperwork, and if you have been approved, you received an email stating that. Everybody also received another email the following day, which was an introduction of the requirements of your supervising teachers. That was sent to the teacher and the center administrator, and then it was forwarded to you with additional communication about your start date. And several of you have been in contact with me. I know several of you have submitted documents. Until that is confirmed by Ms. Solomon next week, you may not start your placement. Okay, so for most of you, you will start week 4, and that's okay. In class next week, we're going to look at our schedule. We're going to review our norms. We're going to do an engagement, look at the engagement activities. That'll be our first discussion. We're going to review the Module 3 Principles, Practice, and Curriculum. And then we're going to dive really deep and spend most of our time looking at the lesson planning documents. A reminder, the early on slides included what you need to print and bring next week. Okay, now we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about the assignments that are due. So the course reflection week 2 is your out of class assignment. When classes are canceled, instructors are responsible for several things, right? Similar, one of the things is, and possibilities, is to put a video like this up. So you're receiving a video in lieu of the lecture and the engagement activities we would have done in class. The course reflection week 2 is an assignment, and it is part of what is considered your attendance, right? So you want to get that done. It's also a really good review of the course materials that you've completed to this point. And that will become even more important when we get to the midterm. Okay, so you want to keep up to date on the learning materials that you're reading and watching. The second assignment that is due Tuesday, January 23rd, is your cognitive developmental theory Flipgrid. Okay, and then Sunday, after we meet Friday, you'll have your practice lesson plan 1, parts 1 and 2. Don't focus on this yet. We'll go over this in class. Certainly, I want you to look at the lesson plan document, maybe even the exemplar and the rubric. But these are the 2 things that you're going to focus on right now. The 2 things that are due this coming Tuesday, the 23rd. Your course reflection week 2 and your cognitive developmental theorist Flipgrid. So let's take a look at those. We've already looked at this first part. Remember, we talked about the competencies, the 7 domains, and the 3 competencies according to 0 to 3 research, right? So this first one, and all of these that you're going to see in a moment, are all on one worksheet that you're going to submit. This is your week 2 course reflection. So the 0 to 3 critical competencies, you're going to choose 1 and complete A, B, and C. The second part of this worksheet is that you reviewed the qualities that make exceptional infant teachers. Okay, I want to stress to you that we're talking about infants, so stay in the range of 3 months to 12 months. You're going to list 2 qualities included in the video, and you're going to add 1 more of your own. Okay, think about a parent, a guardian, a teacher you've had. What are those exceptional qualities? And then finally, don't forget the and. Why is it important to infants' development? Remember, we talked about the 3 R's. Reference the developmental domains. Why is it important for infants' development? So Here you're going to list 3 qualities, 2 from the video, include the importance, right? Try to vary your responses, not a copy paste. The third component is the NAYC Code of Ethical Conduct and Statement of Commitment. And you can see that this is hyperlinked. Okay, so for here, there are 7 core values and 1 is listed below. Explain how you will reinforce this value in your future classroom. So future classroom, remember your infant toddler methods. So you're choosing either a future infant classroom or a future toddler classroom. You can consider materials, curriculum, classroom management, and other components. The focus here, the core value is respect diversity in children, families, and colleagues. Right? So explain how you're going to reinforce, how you're going to reinforce this value in your future infant or toddler classroom. Right? So A, B, and C here as well. That concludes your week 2 course reflection. You'll save this in a Word formatted document and you'll post it to the D2L submission site. Okay, moving on. Cognitive developmental theorist flip. I'm encouraging you to read each of these steps, what to do, why to do, how to do it. You're going to choose Piaget or Lev Vygotsky. Jean Piaget or Lev Vygotsky. Okay, and you're going to open up the Flipgrid and you're going to record a 1 to 2 minute video response with the following things. Okay, so read through all of the required questions, okay, and then choose your path. So required question and select one of the questions below to answer. So this is required and then you choose one or the other. Okay. So, and here we're remembering it may be helpful to write a little bit of a script or an outline so that you're staying within the 2 to 3 minutes. Right? It's like asking you to confine your language to that time frame, or if you were writing a paper to so many pages. Right? Okay, so it will, if you need help how to submitting a video, it's linked here, and the rubric, which is always helpful to read before you do an assignment. Make sure that you know how you're being graded. All right, again, I just want to say this has been a very different type of class, very early in the semester, so thank you for your time and your attention. We'll see everybody next week. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Take care.